It's just another video from the Board Game Network. I'm going to be explaining how to play this game called Pretense. This Pretense is a social metagame. In other words, it's not the game you set out to play, and it's really designed for having a game night at your house or some kind of party. And it happens in the background. So you're playing other games, but this is a game that at the end of the night, you score this game up to see who's the winner of this game. It plays 2 to 12 players, 14 years and up, and I would definitely say that it's going to be more fun with more players. 2 players doesn't really sound that much fun, but more players gives it a lot more variety. The goal is to obtain the most roll cards by the end of the night. Each person has one of these roll cards, and you obtain other people's roll cards when they meet certain criteria. And so what you do when you set up is you take the number of players and add 4 to it, and that's how many cards you shuffle up and deal and lay out on the table face up. You take the tokens that match the cards and you put those on the table also. Then you shuffle those cards and pass them out, one to each player, and so they can see what roll they are. And then they put the rest of them go face down, and then those obviously are hidden, so only the player who got the card can see it. Now, something I would suggest, that this game, the way the rules are written, it's obviously assuming that you're going to be setting a single table all night long, which you may not be in your game night. You may have 2 or 3 tables going or something, and you may be swapping around. And the reason why I say it's obvious you're staying at the same table is one of these rolls is if you win 2 games in a row. Well, if you're switching tables around and stuff, and you try to take somebody else's roll and say, I just won 2 games in a row, nobody else is going to know that unless they played with you for 2 games in a row. And also, it depends on how long your games are. If you're playing 6-hour-long games, that one probably wouldn't be a very good roll. So I would suggest when you play this game that you go through it and pick out the cards that would apply to your gaming situation. And I would even say that you don't even need to be having a game night, that it could just be a social gathering, and this could be going on in the background, but you then would want to pull out those cards that reference certain games, rolling dice off the table, winning 2 games in a row. There are plenty of other cards that don't have anything to do with games. So this one could be played without a game night type situation. I would also suggest, instead of giving people the cards, is to give them the tokens. They could take the tokens and put them in their pocket, and then that way they're free to roam around the house or wherever, and they're not going to bend up and sweaty out your cards so that they're not usable after once or twice. This definitely needs to be a game where there's an end to the night instead of just a come and go thing, because a come and go thing you're going to end up losing your cards, and by the end of the night half the people aren't going to be there. So it really should be a fixed night starting and ending or something, or those people that want to participate are going to be there for a certain amount of time. They're going to leave at 10 o'clock, so you're going to score your points at 10 o'clock or something. So during the night, what happens is if someone completes your objective, you show them your card, and then you get to take their card, and then you become that person. So that roll becomes your roll. So here's one, like if I was dealt the glutton. It says, if another player hands you food or drink, you may take their roll card. So if that was my initial card, I would have that with me, or I would have the token with me, is what my suggestion is. And then if somebody during the night hands me some food or drink, I show them my card or my token, and they have to give me their card or token, and then this card goes face up on the table to show that it has been completed. And so I'm going to keep all of my completed cards or all my completed tokens in one place on the table to show that these ones have been completed. And then you change to that new role, and the other player is out of the game. If at any time during the night you believe you know who another player is, what role they are taking, you can accuse them and say, I think you're the glutton, or I think you're the klutz. And if you're right, they have to reveal their card. If you're right, then they are out of the game and this role is removed. If you're wrong, then you are out of the game and you have to give them your role. And then they now play as you. And the way the scoring works is at the end of the night, each role card that has been taken is worth 1 point. So if you have taken 3 people's cards during the night, then you have 3 points. And you simply just total up the number of points. And you can win even though you're out of the game. Somebody may have taken your role card, but you still may have accumulated more role cards than somebody else. So that's the way this game works. It's a very simple game. Let me read a few of these cards to you. If you convince the group to play a game with a house rule, you may take any other player's role card. If another player refuses to play a game that at least two people want to play, you may take their role card. If another player gives you a high five, you may take their role card. If another player makes a phone call, you may take their role card. So all kinds of them. There are plenty of them in here that don't apply to games. And there are some blank cards in here so that you can make up your own. But I would highly suggest you go through these and pick through them because some of them may not be very good ones for your situation. So that is the game Pretense. It's put out by AEG. If you've played this game, put your comments down below or what you think of this game. Make sure you tune into all of our how to play videos here at the Board Game Network.